live from the city here in Halfway Tree Square, Kingston, Jamaica. Thanks to all the viewers streaming in live on various media platforms, I am Jessica Owen. Now the news. The media has been buzzing on this historical weekend in sports across the island of Jamaica. Sahid Islam reports.
The Jamaica cricket fraternity witnessed two historical achievements on the weekend where the prolific, reliable and consistent batsman Damian Bryce created history by being the first player to have scored a century for more than 5 teams across the island in Senior Cup cricket. Bryce had represented the St. Catharines CC, where he won his first Senior Cup 2 days title for the Saints. The talented left-handed batsman also went on to claim his second Senior Cup title with his home parish team Manchester Cricket Association, where he was also named the finals MVP, scoring an impressive 99 against neighbouring parish St. Elizabeth. Bryce took down former West Indies fast bowler Darryl Powell in the first over of the day, hitting the West Indies bowler for 28 runs. Bryce also sees former West Indies elegant stroke player Marlon Samuels as his idol. The former West Indies top-class player also had high praises for the talented left-hander. Samuels would have played against Bryce while he was representing the Halfway Tree-based team, Wolmer'S CC. He came across the talent when he competed against him in the huge rivalry match, St. Catharines CC versus Wolmer'S CC. In that very same game, Bryce hit Melbourne fast bowler Sheldon Smith-Cody for 6 consecutive boundaries. The left-handed batsman also got a lot of praises from the iconic batsman Christopher Henry Gale. Stated that Damian Bryce and former Jamaica under-19 batsman Wayne Morgan will be the next Chris Gales of Jamaica. Bryce also went on to play for Trelawney Cricket Association, Hanover Cricket Association, St. Thomas Cricket Association, and his current team St. Anne Cricket Association. Bryce brought up his first of 2 centuries guiding a ball in the backward point region against Westmoreland Cricket Association at the Narranta Bauxite Company playfield there in St. Anne's in the quarter-finals of the JCA 2-day Senior Cup competition, and he wasn't done there, after St. Anne's declared on their enormous first innings score of 312 for 8. The Westmoreland team didn't put up much resistance, as they were bowled out for just 141 runs with Andre Blake top scoring for the Westmoreland-based team with 40. Odell Samuel and Okino Forkason both chip in with 33 apiece, against national left-arm orthodox spinner Christopher Lamont grabbing 6 for 34, Orlando Roy's 2 for 23 and top national youth all-rounder Kefandre Virgo picking up 1 wicket for 2 runs. After winning first innings, the St. Anne-based team decided to capitalize on some batting practice, where in their second innings Damian Bryce again brought up his second century of the match pulling the bowler backward square for 4. He smashed the Westmoreland bowlers all over the park to achieve another historical milestone in the same game, by being immortal in any form of finals. Bryce 102 not out, Damani Sewell and Ronaldo Ingram both scoring 35. Okino Forkason 2 for 5, Cavoni Graham 2 for 8 and Odell Samuel 2 for 54. Damian Bryce also carried his bat through both innings to remain unbeaten in the quarter-finals. Scores in the game: St. Anne's 312 for 8 declared, Damian Bryce 100 not out, Damani Sewell 85, so Wayne Wilson 46 and national youth player Kefandre Virgo chipped in with 21. Against Javier Simpson 5 for 77 and Odell Samuel 2 for 76. Westmoreland 141 all out, Andre Blake 40 and both Odell Samuel and Okino Forkason chipped in with 33. Against Christopher Lamont 6 for 34. Roy's 2 for 23 and Kefandre Virgo 1 for 2. St. Anne's in their second innings 221 for 8 declared, Damian Bryce 102 not out, Damani Sewell and Ronaldo Ingram 35. Okino Forkason 2 for 5, Cavoni Graham 2 for 8 and Odell Samuels 2 for 54. St. Anne's advanced to the semifinals, where they will take on Kingston CC.
Thank you so much Sahid Islam. Sahid Islam, they're doing some great work on the grounds. Now over to Zahir Gupti on the other quarter-final games. Zahir, what do you got for us there?
Defending champions were sent packing as the Army men failed to replicate their dominance of last year's competition. The Army men went down to the breadbasket parish team at the Manly Horn Oval there in Ballards Valley, St. Elizabeth. St. Elizabeth won the toss and elected to bowl quite surprisingly on a wicket that has always been more conducive for batting, but the decision proved to be good as the Army men could only manage to compile a very low total of 114, with Leighton Leslie top scoring with 40 and national opening batsman Tevin Gzlin chipped in with 25, against Romain Nemhard 4 for 41, Joseph Brown 3 for 33 and captain Damian Ebanks 2 for 17. In reply, the St. Elizabeth men struggled to keep up to the fiery soldier men, as only 2 bowlers were asked to take up duties for the JDF men. Only 2 players managed to get into double figures as they were decimated by Leighton Leslie 7 for 34 and Andre Dennis 3 for 20. St. Elizabeth only managed to score 63 in total. In the second innings, the Army men put up a better resistance by scoring 233 all out, with Andre Dennis top scoring with 58 and Tevin Gzlin 27. Top off spinner Lennox Simpson grabbed 6 for 106 and Romain Nemhard 2 for 52. In their second innings, St. Elizabeth asked to chase down a more substantial total relative to the first innings score. The Food Basket team then crushed the defending champions to the ground by an impressive century knock from former Jamaica under-19 all-rounder Andre McCarty, scoring 104. He also got good support from David Curtis' unbeaten 79 not out, against out-of-favor fast bowler Leighton Leslie 4 for 48, to add to his 7 wickets in his first innings. Raheem Manning also took 2 for 69. St. Elizabeth will face the red-hot St. Catherine's CC. The Saints had a comprehensive victory over St. Mary, winning by an innings and 25 runs. Batting first, the St. Mary team never showed any fight as they were dismissed for just 88. Top national all-rounder Pete Soman grabbed 4 for 18, national player Javer Royal 3 for 12 and Elvis O'Connor 2 for 35. In Saints innings, national batsman Carlos Brown scored an impressive century knock of 101. He also got support from top international striker Kenner Lewis with 56 and Javer Royal 26, against Tyrone Daly 3 for 26, Darren Walker 3 for 106 and Jermaine Chisholm 2 for 45. In the second innings, the Banana Parish men showed a better resistance by compiling 188 for 9 declared, with West Indies under-19 invitee Trevon Williams top scoring with 46. Rajay Brown and Milton Mills both chipped in with 31 and 28 respectively. Javer Royal 3 for 31, Mikhail Powell 2 for 19 and Andre Henry 2 for 18. In the final game of the quarter-final round, Kingston CC prevailed over the Micro University. Batting first, Kingston CC piled up a massive total of 357 all out, with national wicket-keeper batsman Romain Morris scored a marvelous century of 120 to lead the batting for Kingston Tigers. He got good support from Yvonne Buchanan with 69 and Nicholas Nelson 56, against Shavoni Grant 4 for 78 and national under-19 all-rounder Brandon English 3 for 53. Asked to chase 358, the Myconians never put up much resistance, as they were blown away for 158, with former national youth player O'Dane McCarty and Fitzroy Hunter scoring 29 and 28 respectively, against national spin twins Patrick Hardy and Akeem Fraser 5 for 55 and 2 for 17 respectively. Second time AT bat, Kingston CC 53 for 1. Buchanan not out on 22 and Romain Morris the lone wicket to fall for 23. Scores in the game, Kingston CC 357 and 53 for 1. Micro University 158. Kingston CC will take on the Dangers St. Anne Siahadana and the Bauxite Playfield there in Discovery Bay, St. Anne. Both semi-final games set to bowl off on the weekend. Zahir Gupti reporting for BCS Sports.
Thank you, Zahir. Zahir Gupti there completing the JCA 2 days quarter-finals roundup. Now on to schoolboy cricket, where the famous Wolmer'S boys were crowned champions of the Issa Grace Shield competition on Friday there at the Melbourne Oval and Halfway Tree. Colin Hernandez reports.
Wolmer'S boys can finally jump for glory after getting back their hands on the silverware that has been eluding them for a decade. The Heroes Circle-based team won their last Grace Shield title back in 2013 under former Army man Wayne Cuff. Cuff coached the Wolmer'S to an impressive victory over Eltham High in the highly anticipated clash for schoolboy supremacy under the captaincy of former national youth player Delbert Gale back in 2013. In the highly anticipated urban area schoolboys finals contest in their at the Melbourne Oval on Friday, the Spanish town-based team failed to live up to the expectations by being bowled out for just 111 in their first innings, with only Milton Lucane putting up some resistance by top scoring with 34 against former West Indies opening batsman Wavell Hines' son, Alex Hines. Hines grabbed an impressive 5 for 40 to restrict the San Diego men. In reply, the hard-hitting Wolmer'S boys didn't ease up off the pedals as they stretched the former alma mater international athlete Johan Blake and national cricketer Garth Garvey's team down the lane with some pugnacious, elegant and impeccable batting displayed, led by top West Indies under-19 batsman captain Justin Beckford. Beckford, the brothers of former West Indies under-19 wicket-keeper batsman Daniel Beckford, smashed the San Diego bowlers all over the park to score an enormous 166 to put the Heroes Circle-based team in a commanding position in their first and only innings. Alex Hines continued from where he left off with the ball in the first innings by scoring an impressive knock of 97, just falling short of that well-deserving century. Top West Indies under-19 World Cup youth batsman Jordan Johnson started the demolition of the Spanish town men. Johnson played a very patient innings of 54 to place the team in a good position before unintentionally steering a ball to the square leg region to be dismissed of what you thought would have been pure entertainment from the World Cup youth player going into day 2. Milton Lucane had the best game for his team, picking up 3 for 96 and Wolmer'S scores of 372 for 9 declared. In St. Diego's second innings, it seems like the Spanish town men were rushing home before curfew time after they were decimated for just 69, with Lucane again top scoring with 41 against Matthew Eljo 4 for 13 to lift the trophy for first time in 10 years for the Heroes Circle-based team. Captain Justin Beckford finished the competition with an insane batting average of 314 including 5 centuries and an aggregate of 628 runs. Colin Hernandez reporting live from the Melbourne Oval for BCS Sports.
Thank you, Hernandez. Colin Hernandez there reporting with some absolute intriguing updates on the conclusion of the Grace Shield finals. Congratulations to the Wolmer'S Old Boys Association and to the entire Wolmer'S cricket fraternity. Ryan Foster and Patrick Kidd, the main sources in rebuilding such great initiative at such prestigious institutions. Professor Hardware, the most reliable, dedicated and competent pitch expert, and to Coach Derain Duda Williams, winning his first Grace Shield title to follow up his T20 triumph over St. Elizabeth Technical High in last year's competition. And that concludes tonight's sports edition. Thanks to all the viewers streaming live on YouTube, Facebook and various media platforms. Thanks to Zahir Gupti and Sahid Islam for the Senior Cup Roundup, and special thanks to Colin Hernandez for the Schoolboy Finals Roundup and Halfway Tree, and to the hard-working team behind the scene. On behalf of the BCS Sports, I am Jessica Owen saying, pleasant viewing.